very bad in the courtroom. And I know
it sound fucked up.
It make you say,
well, damn.
Let me play the clip and then I want to get y'all take on it. Let me play the actual clip of what was said in the courtroom by Gunna, what got everybody just on they like, man, what is going on? What is being talked about?
It's confusing, man. It's damn sure confusing.
Nah, very. I don't think it was meant for us to understand because it's no, it is. No, rephrase it.
It's really you understand it.
Yeah.
But it's
just
like,
so many fucking opinions that
exactly.
That's what's confusing.
Exactly.
It's whoever you consume that information from that it'll fuck up.
So he was released, and here we go with it right here. Make sure I got it on the good spot.
But say Thug finna make history either way. No bullshit.
Right about that.
Shit, history already made.
What?
Keeping it all the way at Thigh.
Yep.
Damn.
Hold on, real quick. Let me back it up some.
Gunna.
And this is what sounds crazy to people. We're going to play it right now.
I want to make it perfectly clear that I have not made any statements suggests in the case of his Alford plea, he's, quote, maintaining my innocence toward the same charge, unquote. It says, while I've agreed to always be truthful, I want to make it perfectly clear that I have not made any statements, have not been interviewed, have not cooperated, have not agreed to testify or be a witness for or against any party in the case, and have absolutely no intention of being involved in the trial process in any way. In court, some startling statements.
Please state after each statement whether or not you agree or acknowledge that the statements are truthful, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
I became affiliated with YSL around 2016. Is that true as it pertains to you, Mr. Kitchens?
Yes, ma'am.
YSL is a music label and a gang, and you have personal knowledge that members or associates of YSL have committed crimes in furtherance of the gang.
Yes, ma'am.
You were present when law enforcement officers stopped a vehicle in which you were present along with Jeffrey Williams, wherein hydrocodone, methamphetamines, and a firearm were recovered. These items did not belong to you.
Yes, ma'am.
And do you acknowledge the following statement? I recognize, accept, and deeply regret that my talent and music indirectly furthered YSL the gang to the detriment of my community. YSL as a gang must end. Is that your statement or acknowledgement?
Yes.
A YSL indictment includes Jeffrey Williams, a.k.a. Young Thug. His attorney, Brian Steele, has said,
Mr. Williams committed no crime.
Judge Ural Glanville.
I find that your plea is freely and voluntarily entered. I find no factual basis for your plea, and I'm going to accept your plea as tendered and as negotiated.
Now, Jacoby Hudson, defense attorney for YSL case defendant Walter Murphy, confirms that late Tuesday, Murphy pled guilty to a racketeering conspiracy count and has been released from the Fulton County Jail already. Hudson says Murphy will not testify about the conduct of any other individual defendants. Hudson indicated how Murphy changed his life after he got out of...
So, with that being said, let me explain to everybody this here, what they have taken. They have taken what they call an Alford plea, meaning, hey, I'm not saying I'm guilty, but I'm acknowledging if I were to go to trial, that y'all would have enough to convict me.
True.
In Gunna in them case, they are saying now that anything they say cannot be used against anybody individually off of this Alford plea.
True.
And they saying nothing. So that's one thing, but then it was like, okay, you saying individually, but the fact you acknowledge that YSL was a gang and da-da-da, and Thug's whole argument is YSL is not a gang, can that be used against them at all? They saying that now today that can't be used. Nothing they said can be used.
Right.
Only thing that can be used is if they go to trial.
Right.
But if they do go to trial, they have the option to plead the fifth.
Right.
So basically, it sounds like a sweet deal to me, because also Thug has gotten evidence thrown out that was obtained in 2015. That's another thing that happened over this past week. So it seems it's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. What are you staying with this, Twan?
I mean, I had to look up the Alford plea before I You know what I'm saying? That's why I had sent that to you when you was like, man, what the fuck is going on? And once I looked up the Alford Plea, I was like, all right. So he's, basically acknowledging, this can be used against us if, in trial or whatever. And at the same time maintaining his innocence. Me personally, I don't look at that as snitching. But, the internet ain't got no chill. So they been on bro ass. But when everybody who hit me about it, once I put the little Alford Plea shit out there, I just told them, just go look up the Alford Plea, bro. And whatever you determine from that is what you determine. But what I determine from it is he got a sweet deal. Like, you know what I'm saying? Cuz don't want no more hot dogs. Like, shit, I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's the Alford Plea. Like, you got to go read that shit and you got to understand it and then go back and listen to what they saying. And it'll make a little more sense to you, man. Everybody be so quick to throw this out there and throw that out there. And it's like, I don't really know if that's fair. Because, you got to just, it's the Alford Plea. Once I read that shit, and I read it a few times so that way I could make sure I understood it. And I went over and I was like, okay, all right. I don't really see him doing nothing wrong. And that's just in my eyes, you feel me? I don't see him doing nothing wrong, man. A lot of people feel differently, but I kind of feel like, Thugger might have known. I don't see him doing this without coming, without hollering at Thugger first, you know what I'm saying? Now, if he did, then it might be a different story. But in my eyes, I feel like shit, he did that and maintain, okay, this can be used against me in trial or whatever. But I'm also maintaining my innocence at the same time. I'm just letting y'all know that, hey, shit, this shit can be used against me if I do to go to trial, which I don't see him doing that, which he already played out and got his sentence. Man, I just wish them boys the best, man. Like, shit, I just wish them the best.
What you think, Pookie?
Shit, it's that little mission of guilt, really.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You just basically, you know what I'm saying, let them know you guilty, you know what I'm saying? And whatever little bargaining going on between them, you know what I'm saying? I'll just look at it like this. It all depends on what happened to Thug, bro.
True. Yeah.
The outcome of Young Thug, bro. That's what's gonna really determine. This is speaking on the little tattletale shit to say shit. You gotta see what happened to Thug before you can just really
gotta see what they bring at Thug.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that it was the video that kind of turned everybody up, seeing him on court in the courtroom and saying this is a gang, and then the detriment to the community, and then saying I know of acts of violence that they have done, and then the other write-up was like, oh, I unknowingly I didn't know my music was used to, push forward the gang, basically.
Right. Bro, but what's funny, though? Just keeping it 100.
Yeah.
Niggas was already looking for Gunna to be the weakest link.
Yeah. No,
100%.
100%.
So any little thing, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I know it looks bad.
It was gonna go that way for him. I'm talking about on some internet shit.
Yeah, some internet shit. But I say, us as adults and people who have knowledge, I think you got to sit back and wait a little bit for you go on a public platform.
You definitely got to.
Because you got to know it's certain things being discussed that you don't know. Right. Now, at first when I heard, I was like, oh, man. But I'm like, nah, something ain't right when I started seeing and paying attention to the wording. Then when the other three, Slime Life Shawty, Duke, and then also the co-founder took this
the same plea, yeah.
And I think
the
co-founder...
And that was the thing. He took the bitch first.
Yeah, to my understanding.
Yeah, he was the first one to take it.
He was the first one, and he the co-founder.
Yeah.
And then it's like I was telling you, bro, that shit just gone.
It's a trickle effect.
Niggas just finna start taking pleas, because the main thing is, how I look at this shit is not to go to trial.
Right.
Exactly.
I wouldn't want... If I was in that situation, I would not want to go to trial.
Much with Thug, it's like...
Plea out.
Don't go to trial. You know what I'm saying? Get as much shit threw up off of me so I can have a better chance of going home.
Exactly.
Instead of just doing a little bit more time type shit. That's how I'm kind of looking at this shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like shit, you really can't knock a nigga for their decisions and what they do with their money. You know what I'm saying? Because niggas ain't had to pay no court fees, no restitutions, no nothing. So niggas paid a nice little penny for this situation, bro.
I just tell everybody, wait, bro. I know everybody jumping out there looks away. You got some people protesting and campaigning. I done seen Boosie jump out there and go crazy. I seen a lot of niggas jump out there and go crazy, bro, or just show signs of, I can't fuck with dog no more. And I'm like, bro, we gotta wait.
Hear it out.
Let's wait. Let's see what happens all the way, and then
make our conclusion.
And then we'll make our conclusion, bro. The trial starting on January 9th. And I mean, it's gonna be a long trial, but man, we don't have to have an answer right now, bro. Right. And like I said, I want to make this very clear. How many niggas before last week knew what an Alford Plea was?
Shit, I can't count one.
How many niggas know? Nigga, I didn't learn what an Alford Plea was until 2022 when that weird nigga Miko Worldwide, his case came up and went all over the place on the internet. Right. Before that, I didn't know that exists. We've been disadvantaged of learning the law and learning terms. Yeah. And this, bro, technically, by the way they described it, I have the right to plead the fifth if I go to trial, meaning I don't have to answer no questions. What I said in the courtroom can't be used. So how is this snitching? So I say that to say we need to start learning the law for real and nigga what you can and can't get away with so we can slither through these cracks instead of saying, hey man, It's like, nah, nigga, why would I go to jail if I could just go on here and say this and I didn't holler at my dog and let him know, hey bro, they gave me action, nigga. You know what I'm saying? But
I ain't gonna lie. Yeah. Look, you gotta always remember, bro. It's 28 people, right?
Yeah.
So we can get 28 convictions, right?
Yes.
Or more. But for sure, 28.
For sure, 28.
You know what I'm saying? We got a whole gang injunction situation. So you gotta look at it on the number side for the state. Yep. It just look good. You gonna have X amount of years that you finna get out of these 28 people. Yeah. Whether a nigga go to jail or not on paper. You know what I'm saying? Because on paper, Gunna got 5 years. See what I'm saying? So it's gonna look like niggas got a bunch of time. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna look like they really did a good job whether niggas go to jail or not.
Right.
So that's what this shit really about, is getting them motherfucking convictions, bro. Getting them felonies, nigga, and getting niggas to admit, you know what I'm saying? And
you know what this shit for. You know, like I know, like you can bluff them hoes and yeah, I'm gonna go to trial and shit, man. They right plea deal come up, hey man, I'm gonna plead out to this shit, man, so I can go and do my little whoop and get back to the crib. You know what I'm saying?
Sound like they caught a play, and I think everything is gonna come out once. I mean, I'm pretty much sold on that case. That's why I'm not gonna jump out there, because I'm sold on it now, bro. Like, it seemed like really after I heard that Thug Lawyer found that crack. In the situation with the way
they got action.
They arrested the nigga in 2015 and did a search warrant that they didn't have a search warrant for. Mm-hmm. And they using this evidence in court, and it's like the judge is like, oh, hold on, nah. The judge already said this is unlawful. Y'all can't use this shit here.
Exactly.
And they trying to get him to override. He said, oh no, I'm not going against no other judge. Y'all got the game fucked up. So I'm like, oh, this is a little victory here. So let's just wait. We don't know what they talking about behind the scenes. So that's just where I stand with that. But that has been the talk of the internet as of late, man.
But once I saw that shit, I went and looked it up. And like I say, I went over it 4 or 5 times so that way I could know for sure like what the fuck I was talking about before I, you know what I'm saying, before I sent it to you and because I got a few little DMs afterwards. I'm like, bro, just go look up the Alford Plea and it'll tell you, whatever you need to know.
Hey, I think we'll all agree with this, bro. All of us. And, we need to tell the community, bro, let's start learning some of these laws, my nigga. Like, especially if you are invested in a life of crime, you might as well go ahead and get used to the law, my nigga. Start learning some of this shit. Learn your wiggle rooms and shit, because
it's always wiggle room. I don't give a damn how bad it look.
Niggas want everything to be snitching, and you don't really be knowing what snitching is.
Bro, that's why I say with Gunna, it's kind of like.
They was already looking at him to be the weak link anyway, so it's like any little room he gave a motherfucker to jump on that snitch shit, they jumped on it. But if that's how you feel, just go read the Alford Plea, bro. Read it more than once so you have a total understanding of it.
I realize people got a short attention span and they don't want to think it's outside the box. They don't want to read. They don't want to understand. They're not even watching the videos to understand, hey, what he said cannot be used, and if he go to trial, he got the right to plead the fifth, which this means right here, bro. They kind of they have no value anymore. Why would I even call you to trial if you could plead the fifth the whole time?
It's no point.
It don't even make no sense.
You're gonna plead the fifth to everything.
You can plead the fifth to everything with no type of consequence supposedly. So
I look at it as a win for YSL.
I think people is looking at it like this. Nah, I heard that nigga say that in court. That's snitching.
Nah.
Let's wait and see.